When did you decide you wanted to start catering and cooking? Like, what inspired you?
Well, I always loved cooking, and I always wanted to have my own like restaurant or just business in general. But back in 2012, I met my business partner, DJ Morris, and he had this vision for a barbershop slash restaurant, and he called it Clip and Dip. Now, it was before he even knew I could cook. Ironically, he just thought it was cool to possibly have a barbershop to where you can have these like super creative just dips that they can choose from, and he pretty much left it up to me to come up with those. So I kind of ran with it from there, and just recently after he passed, I knew I wanted to continue, the legacy of what we had planned on going on. So I just wanted to find a way to keep him involved in whatever it is that, I do, so that way, he would have something to pass down to his kids, that has his name on it.
Okay, so are you still want to go forth with the Clip and Dip idea of having a barbershop and a restaurant all in the one building?
I would love to. The reason why I'm not right now is because it would be weird to do it without him. So that's why I went ahead and changed the name to the Jeffrey Lee Experience. Because what Jeffrey Lee is Jeffrey is his middle name, Lee is mine. So whenever we did work together, we called it a Jeffrey Lee thing. So the Jeffrey Lee Experience is literally experiencing what it's like to be a part of a Jeffrey Lee situation.
And so when you say Jeffrey Lee Experience, when it comes in terms to cooking, what's different than going to a normal restaurant or having a meal prepared by a different chef? How is it that you're creating the experience?
Basically, because our approach to anything is always so much deeper than just the basic. One of the things that DJ would do all the time, we would have these business meetings, and we'll be working on an idea, and he'll always push. Like, he would always push and want to get a little more creative, just a little deeper. And I think I just came with this bomb idea where it can't get no better, and he'd be like, "That's what's up. But what else can we do with that?" And it would always go deeper. So he would always just push me. So like that's the difference between a Jeffrey Lee thing and anything else, is the fact that we're innovating, and it's about just not just having good food, but something that you're going to remember, something that you're going to want to come back to, something that you can't get anywhere else.
Okay. So what type of foods do you create that you wouldn't be able to get anywhere else?
Well, Donscotti, for one, I always wanted to come up with a thing, like how somebody came up with pizza or somebody came up with a hamburger. I wanted something that had my name on it. So I took the idea of the dips, and I came to realize the more creative and innovative I got with it, that it wasn't just like a chip dip. To say that almost seemed to belittle it in a way. And it wasn't necessarily a sauce, because I didn't want it to be known as a sauce. So I decided to just name it Donscotti, because a lot of people are familiar with the name Donscotti that know me. 7 different people will have 7 different meanings to Donscotti to them, because it's just basically whatever I was cooking that day. So I decided that Donscotti would be what the dips or sauces are, because it can be used as a chip dip, it can be used as a pizza sauce or a pasta sauce, or just as like a soup, really. You can dip it with bread, or you can put it on a sandwich. You can use it, put it over your nachos, whatever.
Okay, so for the people who don't know you, how would you describe Donscotti besides just the different ways you could use it? Is it like a cheese dip? Is there different flavors? Things like that?
Ultimately, at this point, Donscotti is a brand in general. So we have cheese dip options like a chicken cordon bleu or a Philly cheesesteak dip or buffalo chicken, Donscotti. But also going into like sauces like teriyaki that you can put on your chicken or on a salad. Mango habanero. Also things you can put in your chicken. So it kind of goes into the the sauce category. But it's one of those things that it just kind of it is what it is. It's kind of like
it's his own thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying like what's pizza. You have Mexican pizza. Yeah. Pizza is basically just a crust, sauce, and cheese, and toppings. So it's like Donscotti is, it's what I made, you know what I mean? But basically, it's a versatile sauce.
Okay. So aside from your special sauces, do you have any other specialty meals or things that you make specifically that you've created?
The biggest thing that I pretty much promote now is my chicken strips. Because when we first started the clip and dip idea, I wanted something that obviously was dippable. So I decided to do chicken strips because I didn't want to do chicken wings because it's just overdone. So when I decided I want to do chicken strips, DJ was really excited, and he kept on referring to Raising Cane's, and he would talk about how amazing Raising Cane's is and how it's like big and how they marinated and all this stuff, and they have this little sauce or whatever. So I was like super excited, and I was like, all right, well let's try and be like Raising Cane's then. So I was pretty much trying to make the best chicken that I can make, and then one day I tried Raising Cane's, and I was excited, and I took a bite, and I was just like, wow, it's not that good. It's like it's not what I it's not what I expected. I was like, what's the big deal? Probably, and I thought that because not that it was nasty, it was just he hyped it up to be such an amazing experience, and I'm like, wow, this is just like chicken.
Yeah.
So I made it pretty much my call to be better than Raising Cane's. I want people to admit that it tastes better, that it's flavorful, that it doesn't need sauce, that it doesn't need a a niche, that it's just the best that they've had.
Just good chicken strips.
Exactly.
Plain and simple like that. Okay. Respect. So though you got the special sauces or dips, we don't want to call them
Right.
the sips, the sauces and dip mix, and you got good chicken. You prepare other foods as well?
Teriyaki chicken is also a huge favorite of people. It's actually a different cut of meat that I use for my teriyaki chicken, to where it's it's juicier, it's not dried out. There was a similar to the Raising Cane's. There was a Chinese place that I would go to all the time and get bourbon chicken from, and I just loved it. Like I couldn't get enough of it. So in the same sense, I basically wanted to make the best version of teriyaki chicken that I can come up with, and that's really my approach to everything that I do and that I cook. Is I don't want anything to be mediocre. Like I want everything to be the best that you've had in general. So whether it's the best chicken strip or the best spinach artichoke sauce, or the best teriyaki chicken or the best rice, I want everything to be the best. So I'm just going to keep on innovating and keep on being creative and being the artist that I am.
Okay. And so speaking of artists, we know that you do a lot of artwork. How is your presentation when it comes to your food? Do you pride yourself more so in the taste and things like that, or do you you really like to get into it with the art of it and make your meals look a certain type of way?
When it comes down to that, I've become more into the art of just creating something that people are going to remember. So as far as presentation is concerned, I've tried to pretty much make it to where that it's more able to be in a fast food type thing. So I haven't concentrated so much on exactly how it looks as so much as that people are going to truly enjoy what they have. So one of the things that I like to do with like the chicken strips and the fries is to actually put the Donscotti over the whole thing. And then we have our kick it up items, which is like bacon and onion, shredded cheese, mushrooms, things like that, to where you can pretty much throw them on top just like nachos. And that's something that you don't really see, anywhere else. It's almost like kind of taking like the Raising Cane's and the Chipotle and like matching them together, to where you can really, create your own experience and you can have something truly different across the board.
Okay. Now, when it comes to your cooking things, what is your end goal? What do you hope to accomplish? You mentioned the barbershop and the restaurant collaboration.
Yeah.
Is there a finish line for you where you're just like, okay, this is what I want to accomplish. Once I get there, that's when I'm good. Is it a restaurant? What is your end goal when it comes to Jeffrey Lee experiment?
I would love for it to be a franchise restaurant, similar to, like I guess a Raising Cane's, you could say. I want it to be, something that can go nationwide. That was the plan with Flip and Dip. I'm learning to keep myself open-minded to, what God has in store for me. But ultimately, I just want to live my life, the best that I can, and not live with limits. So if it's that Jeffrey Lee experience is meant to just be a restaurant that's well known in the city, or if it's a franchise, nationwide, then I'm open to either. But I just wanted my best friend's legacy to, to be relevant and have his kids know, what his father's dream was.
Okay. Now, how did you know your food was good? Like, what told you that this is actually good?
I mean, I've been cooking since I was like 8. I think the first thing my mom taught me how to cook was, like pancakes, eggs, and like bacon, the typical stuff. But and I just used to always watch, Food Network. Growing up, I was like 12. I was videotaping Rachel Ray, 30-minute meals and stuff. And I always just wanted to have like the secret ingredient, or just like, have something special. So, I mean, I just kept on just making different things and just trying it. And then every once in a while, like, I'll want to cook something so bad, then I'll make it. And I'm like, wow, that was actually pretty good. But my confidence raised when other people started trying it.
I'm the type of person, I like to taste everything by itself, because I'm like a food connoisseur. So I want to see how it all tastes by itself.
I think the best compliment I've ever gotten was I gave a guy at work some of my teriyaki chicken, and he was like, man, this is the best I've ever had. And I had never heard that before, like somebody honestly say like, wow, this is the best that I've ever had. And immediately he said, man, I need like a big, like how much for like a big thing of this? It caught me off guard. I never been asked him. I was like, I don't know.
I think my favorite Donscotti would probably have to be the chili cheese.
Okay.
It's so good. He makes these potatoes, like potato chips, like fried potato chips. Dip it on that chili cheese sauce.
Oh wow,
oh,
that does sound pretty good.
Well, as far as the Jeffrey Lee experience is concerned, it's across the board. Just because the way I have it set up, you can have something as simple as chicken strips and French fries, or you can have, chicken Alfredo, or you can have, a Caesar salad, or so you can even go Asian with the teriyaki chicken and rice. So really, it goes across the board to appease anyone's palate.
Larry,
Yes.
he's gonna be trying the food as well. You've had any of this before?
I have. I've had the chicken teriyaki.
Okay.
It's a hometown favorite.
Okay.
it is.
Yeah,
Oh wait, I need the Alfredo. Don't be trying to play me, okay? I mean, not the Alfredo, the spinach artichoke.
You want that just on the side or what?
Yeah, I don't care. I love spinach artichoke. Do you feel like his food is different? Something different that you can't get anywhere else?
I feel like it's especially the chicken strips. That he really impressed me with that.
Okay.
That's when I said, okay.
You were in disbelief?
I was in shock.
Speaking of kids, how many do you have?
I have 3 boys.
Okay, how do they like your food?
Oh, they love my food. They stay eating.
This teriyaki chicken is really good. I can't even lie. It's really, really good. Yeah, it's definitely better than Raising Cane's. It's seasoned well.
Yeah, let me get you
If you eat it without the dip, it's
So,
still
take
good.
your
I like it. I'm impressed.
Proof is in the smile.
That's so true. And if I had to compare, like, I eat a lot of, I don't know if y'all eat ginza. to go. It's like a Genji's go, but it's ginger.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I get their teriyaki chicken. This is way better by far. I also had what's the place called? Panda Express.
Yeah.
I get their teriyaki chicken. I love their teriyaki chicken. I honestly feel like this is better by far. So I'm looking at a piece.
Yes, yes, girl.
I ate mine too fast. I inhaled it, so
I was not ready for that. That was really good.
This is actually my first time trying the spinach artichoke with on top of pasta
okay.
so far.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I didn't think about that. I should have had you put some on half my noodles.
That's the fun thing is that like you can be creative and do what you want and not do what's normal. You know.
I like that.
Yeah, and typically, like I wanted to have the kick it up options as well.
This is so
where,
good. Oh my God.
You know, because with Jeffrey Lee, you'd be able to put like bacon and onion and mushroom on top of that, whatever you want. And you can do that with any of it. So like, if I would have had the French fries, we could have had the chicken strip with the fries. Put some of that on there, topped it with some bacon and onion or whatever.
So it's versatile, huh?
Yeah.
Well, how can people get to the Jeffrey Lee experience? How can we access your food? How can we order food? How can we reach you in the future?
You can find me on Facebook. My main profile is Donovan L. Howard Sr. I'm actually going to be launching tonight the Jeffrey Lee Experience, the actual fan page. So people will be able to contact me through there as well. Instagram, Jeffrey Lee Experience. So I can be contacted through there. Email, dh.artistlove@gmail.com.
Okay. And what type of events would people be able to contact you about as far as for catering? Will you come to their home, weddings?
Yeah, as far as I consider it gourmet game day food. Now I will, cater, big events such as, like weddings or birthdays. I think it's, personally a great, idea for, just parties in general, birthday parties, anniversaries, receptions, graduation parties. Pretty much anything that you would need catering for.
Okay.
Available.
Perfect. Well, I think that's it.
Right.
Thank you. It's good. It started getting hot.